Hello relatives! Welcome to this week's Schlag Bite for the week November 1st, 2009. So here we are in the midst of all kinds of critical struggles, the war in Afghanistan, and unprecedented economic recession, healthcare reform is gasping, and somehow in the midst of it all I get a reprieve. I just returned from the annual trip to the National Caring Awards. This is a place where I am reminded that there is another real world where people transcend self-interest and serve others. Every year, 5 young people and 5 adults and 1 international honoree are cited for their caring contributions to humanity. Among them this year was Larry Selman, a mentally challenged, middle-aged man known as the collector of Bedford Street. I knew nothing about Larry before we met at a pre-award ceremony luncheon, and during the informal greetings I introduced myself, and he responded by asking me for a donation to fight breast cancer. I was a little bit taken aback and told him, "Listen, I don't have my wallet with me, and catch me later." Larry was raised in Brooklyn, lived with his parents until he was 26 when they both died. Isolated, fearful, shaking uncontrollably, he was hospitalized in a mental institution. After 2 months, an aging uncle got him released, and ultimately Larry moved to Greenwich Village, where he barely got by on his disability checks. But Larry Selman became the glue for his community. He'd sit outside with his dog, greeting all passers-by, laughing, teasing, asking for donations to give to charity. With the money he raised, he supported community organizations, AIDS programs, hospitals, muscular dystrophy. Over the last 20 years, Larry Selman has collected more than $400,000. A few years back, Larry had a stroke and needed a wheelchair, so his neighbors of 30 years began to collect for him. Larry Selman became a mirror for their own ascendant spirit. They saw in him what they could choose to be. A local filmmaker made an Academy Award-nominated documentary film about him called The Collector of Bedford Street, and the community established a trust fund that helps sustain him. In the midst of all this crap, you meet a Larry Selman, and it rekindles your humanity. There are many good people out there who give something, but there are few people who have nothing and give everything. That's a whole different kind of giving. Whenever and whatever my struggles and uncertainties and occasional despair, here I see a mentally challenged, middle-aged, post-stroke, diabetic man in a wheelchair, and I feel hopeful. Reach out and fill the cups of others, and you will build a caring community. It's what distinguishes us as people. In the midst of all this, I say, stay connected, build community. We are all related. Have a great week with joy and blessings. I say this for all my relations. Mitakuye.